know this gentleman really needs no introduction. And I learned a long time ago, never introduce a Powers, they introduce themselves. Mr. John Powers.
You're going to hear some of the real story about how this all went down. But first, as a former educator in Pottsville, I'm thrilled that we have 3 valedictorians from separate classes, Jeff Dunkel, Jim Wilmer, and Chet Evans. And if you believe that, you'll believe the rest of the fairy tale that I will share with you. But you know, you hear the story of Amy speaking with Jeff about the egg hunt and so on. And then Jeff and Jim get together. And I'm guessing at some point there might have been some amber fluid that they were sharing that night as they decided first, let's build a swing for about 25 grand. And after a few more of those amber fluids, it ended up being, why don't we just raise $500,000 to build a whole playground? And guess what? They did it. They did it. This is the essence of America. We're a couple guys and a couple other people joined together for the common good. And what better common good than children? All children. This is what it's all about. We need to all learn a lesson here. How'd they do it? They went out and recruited people. They got people to take care of numbers. They got people to take care of food. They sent out and asked thousands of people to contribute. And they came forward, whether it was a buck in a jar over at Aaron's or a corporate sponsor coming through with big bucks to make this possible here tonight. Then they see me. In fact, they contacted me and said they had something to ask me, and they did me the great honor of asking me to speak here tonight. Spent my whole career dealing with kids who sometimes had limitations, sometimes academic, sometimes physical, sometimes social. And every once in a while, and I heard someone mention the Schuylkill Intermediate Unit 29, I would have Tom Camise from there come over and say to me, JP, I have a student over here at the IU and would like to get him over into your program for a couple periods a day to get him acclimated to being around other kids. He's a kid from Tri-Valley. He lived in a foster home out in Spring Glen, and he said he's an athlete, he's 16 years old, and I said, is there anything else? And he said, yeah, he's blind. And I went, whoa, stop right there. I've never been trained to teach a blind person. I don't know. And it ended up being prophetic because Tom looked at me and he said, relax, JP, you'll be okay. And he used the phrase, you'll see. So the next day they bring in Charlie Jones. Charlie Jones ended up changing my life. Because before me stood this young man, 16, totally blind from birth. And I welcomed him, we met, and his first line was, can you show me around? I'm like, show you around. Okay, he said, I count my steps. So I said, well, where do you want to go? He said, well, first show me how to get to the cafeteria, which I did. Okay, how about now? He said, now you got to get me to the bathroom. Okay. And then I said to him, anything else? He said, yeah, he said, I wrestle for Tri-Valley, and I'd like to go to the gymnasium. So I took him to the gymnasium, a lot of noise, gym class going on. And Charlie said to me when he heard all these guys hooting and hollering, what's going on, JP? He said, oh, Charlie, they're climbing the rope. What does that mean? Pottsville used to have a large bull rope that hung from the ceiling of the gymnasium. And when he heard all the commotion, he said to me, I'd like to climb the rope. And I said, Charlie, you can't climb the rope. And I want you to listen, because that young man changed my life that day. He said, yes, I can, JP. He said, because there's nothing wrong with my arms. I just can't see. I just want a chance. And I have to tell you, it was okay. He went over and scampered all the way to the roof, all the way up. And those guys in that class were all cheering him on, every inch, till he reached the top. And as they cheered, and as I said, okay, Charlie, come on, you got to get down. And he said, I'm afraid. And I thought, how do I tell the IU that the student they just gave me is on the ceiling of the gymnasium in Pottsville? And at that point, every guy in that class raised their hand and said, I'll go up and get him, JP. One young man scampered up and brought him down. And what I learned that day, my Charlie Jones moment of life, is simply this. Every child, and I don't care what the limitations are, every child has a mind. Every child has a heart. Every child has a spirit. And all they ask, especially children with limitations, is a chance. You heard the word. They just want an opportunity. It doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be successful. But I have to tell you what I also learned that day. All those tough kids, not one of them made fun of him because he couldn't get down. And I realized right then and there that strong people never put anybody down. They never mock anybody. They reach out a hand, because that's all they want, is a little bit of help once in a while. So today, I want you all to make a commitment to take some time away from Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all the other ones.
JP, does that mean you're not going to go on your wife? Where's Barb? Sorry for interrupting you, guys.
So I have another story about Jeff. No. I want you to make a commitment today to come over and visit this playground. Even if you don't have kids here, come over and watch these kids. Because I have learned over the years, and you will learn. You will learn when you see them interact. You'll learn about real love. You'll learn about respect for one another. And you'll learn about how people, the youngest of our people, will reach out and help their friends. And when you leave here tonight, leave with these two most important words: all inclusive. If we're asking children to do that, you leave here tonight, make sure you do it. Make sure you treat everyone the same. I don't care about color, race, creed, national origin, any of it. Do what's right. Learn from the children at Dustin's playground and take it with you into your life. So now I want to do a favor, because there's kids here, because we're going to get this ball rolling. You have to help me out with the game that I played when I was a kid, and you can play along. And just so you know, it's rock, paper, scissors. If you don't know how to play, you're to leave immediately, because you were never a child. So I want you to count with me to 3 and give me a rock. You ready? Ready? 1, 2, 3, rock. And look around you. This is the very rock. This is the foundation right here in this field that rose from the rocks and the grass to give us this. You ready? Number 2? 1, 2, 3. Paper. Ask everybody the contracts, the agreements, the insurance papers, and the stacks of cash and dollars that it took to make this possible. And lastly, 1, 2, 3, scissors! Because we're going to now have Amy lead this group of beautiful children to open the gate, to cut the ribbon for a dream come true, Dustin's Adventureland.
On this side, please. Keep them on the inside. All right, all the speakers, come up here, please. Gonna let the kids in front here, if we can. Come on up quickly.
Matthew, have Alex move up more so I can see him. Go up front, Alex. There you go. I can see you now. Okay. You're so tiny back there.
Dave, you let us know when you're ready.
Nice.
Hang on, we have a few people coming up here. Jump in, guys.
Come back a little bit. Hurry up, Theo, help her.
Ready? Come on, help me. Help me.
Help her with the scissors.
Push down. Push, 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 push.
Emily, please watch Alex. Please watch him.